Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Doug Dagnabbit from Modern Warzone and ModernWarzone.com, and we have another banger video for you covering all of the different metas throughout Caldera. Today's video is going to be focused on the Cooper Carbine. I actually have a lot of weird things to say about this weapon. I plan to put out the video sooner, but my testing kind of didn't feel the same as I expected the gun to feel in practice in the game, but I'm going to explain that to you guys and why that is. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning into the last Bren video. I see that same loadout all throughout Warzone now, and I couldn't be happier. I want everybody to be able to use the best weapon available for them, and that way they're not getting more mad at the game when really they just don't have a loadout that's doing very well. We blew our goal out of the water for that last video, so if you guys could, please drop a like on this one and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Also, leave a comment down below of the next video you'd like to see me cover. I still haven't done an MP40 video. I haven't done an MG82 video. There's a lot of different other meta type guns that I can cover. And there's also different sleeper picks and niche builds out there, like an AS44 full auto hipfire build that's accurate as hell. Like I've been working really hard to get all of these different builds together for you guys. So I hope you do enjoy it, but I'm just going to get straight into the actual build itself now. We're going to explain. I'm going to try not to spend as much time on this one explaining to you why I chose every single one that I did. But the important part is that you have to be running the Cooper custom barrel. I tried the ragdoll, not good. The other note is you can either use the MX silencer or the Mercury silencer, or you can even use the recoil booster because it's not really affecting your recoil that much. This is the long range build for the Cooper, by the way. The short range was nerfed. It's still viable, but I would much rather use an SMG in that place since all of the long range meta on Caldera right now is currently revolving around assault rifles and LMGs. You don't want to be running out of ammo and not being able to fight people. We're also running the M1941 hand stop, which in my testing I found again decreased the overall recoil pattern as compared to the Carver foregrip. I'm not exactly sure why it's doing that. Maybe it's because it's one of the last attachments you unlock. When it comes to the magazine, now this is the most important part, and this is the part that was really confusing to me. This magazine says it increases your damage, your bullet velocity and range, your bullet penetration, your magazine ammo capacity, and it says that it's supposed to decrease your recoil control and accuracy, movement speed, aim down sight speed, and fire rate. Well, it actually improves the overall recoil of this. I'm going to pull up a screenshot at some point, probably right now, to show you guys on screen what the difference between the 60 round drum that everybody thinks is currently the best long range for it. And I'll tell you, this gun feels almost the same with this, but in testing, the recoil pattern was incredibly reduced with the 45 round drums, which actually improved your bullet velocity and damage range and your damage. I'll talk about some of the issues I found with that specific mag in just a second. You're going to want to run lengthened. There's no way around running lengthened for a long range build. You want to run polymer foregrip. I will say on just about any of the grips, you're always going to want to use polymer if you're full auto firing the weapon. It makes a huge difference. The optic is really up to you. I still stick with the SVT 3 to 6x for any of my long range builds. You can always swap it out for the 2.5x, which I will say the 2.5x may be better on this build for a reason that I'm about to talk about. When it came to the stock, I tested them all, and the two best were the Cooper Custom Padded and the Cooper 45W. The Cooper 45 RS was actually not good at all. So choose one of these two right here, the third or the fourth stock option. And then this is one of the most game-breaking, I wouldn't say game-breaking, recoil-breaking perks in the game. So for this build, I tried out Vital, I tried out Brace, I tried out Tight Grip. The difference between Brace and Tight Grip is insane, absolutely insane. Tight Grip provides as much recoil control on this weapon as all of the rest of these put together, man. If you switch out Tight Grip and just take it off from this build, the recoil pattern that I'm going to show in that screenshot goes from like this big to off the screen big. And I don't know exactly why that is. I think that that's a very overpowered attachment since not every single weapon can have it. But another one that I will mention is the hard scope perk is just as strong as Tight Grip. The only difference is for hard scope that it increases your accuracy and recoil and sustained ADS. And to me, that felt like it took about 2 seconds. I didn't time it, maybe 1 second or so. I'm not sure. I'm sure somebody else will give you guys the exact numbers for that. But for weapons like the bar and those other weapons, hard scope is an option, whereas Tight Grip isn't. So if you're trying to actually increase your long range capabilities with these weapons, hard scope and Tight Grip, go with them every single time. No questions asked. I'm running fully loaded because this gun, we're going to get to the problems with this build now. This gun shoots marshmallows. Even with the damage bag, even with the entire fully recoil reducing build, it still feels like it's not killing people nearly fast enough compared to a Bren. The Bren and MG82 are going to be much stronger options at long range right now, but this build is still worth getting out there to people because I feel like this is more like a Kilo or an M13, kind of what the Automaton used to be, except for it feels like it hits even less hard, has a smaller mag. There's just a lot of different issues with it. Another issue I'll talk about is that the bullets actually, after you fire a couple, fire to the left center. Like, okay, so my finger right here is the center of the reticle, right? After I'm firing full auto for a second, the bullets are hitting over here somewhere, but my reticle is still staying up here. So you can like see the tracers pelting right here. And after you use the gun for a bit, you get used to it and you start aiming accordingly. So you're hitting your shots even when on the screen your reticle doesn't appear like it should be. I will say that takes a lot of getting used to, honestly. It took me about 5 or 6 games before I started hitting my actual long range shots with it. Another problem with this build is that the 45 round mag, it doesn't actually add recoil, it reduces recoil, but I felt like it added a lot of visual recoil, which was something I really wasn't expecting. You know, I almost ended up not making this video because I was so disappointed in the overall performance of this build. When compared to testing, it was an absolute laser beam. In real practice, it was very, very hard to down one guy from long range. We're talking like 75, 80 meters is the ranges I'm referring to. Much less down 2. And you always had to reload between mags. And the 60 round option is still viable. The last patch actually nerfed the damage mag and increased the damage of the 60 round mag. The only issue is this is a long range build, and that hurts your bullet velocity, range, bullet penetration, all types of different things. So the Cooper's in kind of a weird place after its nerf now, I will say. I would say that it could be one of the next up after the potential LMG nerfs, and the bar is probably up there as well. There's a lot of different weapon loadout videos I could make for you guys right now, but this is basically the build. You could change out the Carver foregrip if you wanted. And if you're not really liking this one that I'm suggesting right now, run this exact same loadout, switch it for the 60 round drum, and see if you like it better. I'm not claiming this is going to be one of the best long range builds out there like I originally thought it was, so I'm sorry if I hyped you guys up about it, but it is still definitely viable. The time to kill is very slow, kind of reminiscent of some of the other beam rifles from Verdansk, but it definitely is manageable. Like I said, the two biggest factors you're going to have to deal with are the visual recoil as well as the fact that you're going to feel like you're shooting marshmallows. I will say aiming for the head, extremely important. 1 to 2 headshots decreases the time to kill by a large margin, but you're going to have to get used to your bullets not hitting where you expect them to. So if you learned anything new today, you liked the video, please be sure to actually drop a thumbs up and a like on the video. It helps out the channel more so than you realize. I have a lot of cool videos coming up for you guys, some that are going to include how to improve your rotations in Caldera, how to get wins in Caldera, why people don't like Caldera, all the secret spots in Caldera. Like, there's a ton on my roster that I want to make content for, but right now I'm spending a lot of my time testing different weapon XP methods and different recoil patterns and all that. Just remember, your 2 takeaways from this video are: tight grip is the best attachment for any full auto weapon in the game, and the damage magazines on this weapon actually decrease the recoil when it's supposed to increase them. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good day.